CFG GameCast, episode number 110, a weekly podcast created by gamers and streamers alike to discuss the latest gaming topics from the previous week. We stream a new episode on Saturdays and release it on podcast services like Apple, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, and Podbean. So show us some love, give us a follow, a like, a comment, what have you on any podcast services out there, or go to our main website, confreaksandgeeks.com, to not miss an episode. I am Mr. CFG Games himself, Davis Green, and with me today are my two awesome co-hosts. I got Lex in the second seat. What is going on, my cyborg?
Not too much. I beat Lost in Random this week, which was really good. Loved the game. I started it over because I thought I screwed up. Turns out I didn't. I did almost 100% it. I think I got like 85 out of like all the achievements. I was missing a couple, which I wish I had seen the achievements prior because I could have totally knocked them out. But yeah, it was really fun. I enjoyed it. It was a really good storyline. The ending was phenomenal. I kind of called it as to what like the end was going to be, but there was like, you were right, but also, and you're like, oh, what? And it was so good. Like, it was one of those games where, like, you get a good amount of information. It's not overwhelming. It is a good amount of information, though. But it all ties in. It all seamlessly comes together. And it's just, I give that game a 10 out of 10. And I haven't given a game a 10 out of 10 this year. That was amazing. Opie watched the whole thing. She enjoyed it. It was cute, spooky, so kind of like Hocus Pocus level of spooky. There are some creepy characters. It's really fun. I enjoyed it. It was absolutely worth the money. I'm probably going to play it again off stream, which that's huge. I don't play a lot of games off stream, so I'm going to play it again.
Multiple endings or anything like that?
You know, I looked. I don't believe so. I am missing the last... Like you collect like a storybook page as you go along. I did miss the 10th storybook page. Well, now that I think of it, I can't. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I don't remember. I'll have to look. There's a few things that I missed, like the fighting style. You roll the dice, and the dice and the cards together are what power up your abilities, essentially. Yeah, so you roll the dice, and depending on what you roll, your cards pull up. And if you rolled like a 2, you can use a 2 card or 2 1 cards to like power up a sword, right? And so then you go around smacking the crap out of people. And then your little guy is running around, and you can send him off to like pick up these like orbs of light, but they're energy that power him up. And once he's powered up, your cards pop up on the bottom and you can see what your deck is. It's really neat. And the gameplay style is awesome. I was told that I needed to play with a controller. I will tell you what, if you like keyboard and mouse, stick with it. I liked playing with keyboard and mouse better, but it was good. Yeah. It was so good. I loved it.
That's awesome. Good deal. But that's awesome. That's good to hear that you definitely enjoyed it. But do you know who... Do you know who I wouldn't put my money on winning the Squid Game?
Oh, I know. The 5-star general.
The 5-star general of the itty bitty Smitty committee. I got Smitty in the third seat. What's going on, dude?
Yo, chilling. It has been. I've gotten some good. So Thursday we streamed in Sound Mind, which I'm really enjoying. That's a psychological thriller. What's that?
Tell me, I'm gonna play it. Don't
I'm not gonna. No, I'm not gonna go into any details. Yeah. I was like, wait, can you not hear me? Is my mic not up?
I was thinking the same thing. What's happening?
So I'm really enjoying that game, and again, I don't really play a lot of horror games, or even in that genre. I don't feel like it's just all out scary. I'm enjoying the puzzles, so it's a fun game. And then, of course,
suspenseful?
Yeah, there's definitely some moments where you're just like, oh my goodness, like, and get kind of freaked out and stuff like that.
Like that.
Yeah, but it's pretty heavy on like the puzzles and figuring things out. So yeah, you're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna enjoy it a lot. So we started that, awesome. And Yeah, we're playing that. And then I did some New World, and we did giveaways, celebrated the birthday a little bit yesterday.
Happy belated birthday.
Yeah, thank you. It was good. Just hung around. The Lizard Elsa set up a little picnic in the backyard, and Scorp Kitty made steaks, and we ate dinner out back and had a little fire and hung out. So it was really nice. And then I got the Bears game tomorrow. So going hard in the paint on that. That's right. What about you, brother?
You got money down on that Bears game?
Nah, son. Let me
get this straight.
Be rough.
So you have like 5 fantasy football leagues, and you don't want to do a straight bet on when they're at home in Vegas?
I don't think you can, because they're not in the same division, right?
You can still do bets.
You should be able to. I would imagine. Yeah, that's
yeah.
I don't know how it works exactly. As far I don't ever again. I don't really do a lot of gambling. So like my way of gambling is doing like the fantasy football leagues and stuff like that.
To differ, dude, because like you gamble quite a bit.
What? Who doesn't? Dude, I'm the one that's a gambler.
How many fantasy football leagues are you in that you have to put money in on this?
I'm in like.
This is the lowest.
And I'm like 5 or 6.
Yeah, this is the lowest that I'm saying. But like normally, I remember. I mean,
I'm in quite a few, but
I beg to differ on that.
You know, it's just fun. And then like I'll bet on the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yes,
I bet on the Super Bowl.
See, I'm the one that does like 10-team parlays, and I get crazy with it.
You're ridiculous. Yeah,
I won 20 grand before, so
that's crazy bets. There's a difference between crazy bets and a lot of the person that gambles a lot.
My old roommate, Derek, he literally survived sports betting, doing things like that, 5-teamers, things like that, and blah blah blah, and was able to survive for like a year and a half just off of sports betting.
Yep,
that's
he's
crazy.
like, it's all math, dude. He's like, it's all math.
Some of those parlays are ridiculous. Like they'll be like, "Hey, it's the Cowboys versus the Eagles. They need to win by 4." But then the other parlay is this horse needs to get second place in the third set of it. Like it's so ridiculous of what you could do with parlays, and that's why I'm like, nope, I am never going to do that. So
really creative.
So yeah,
he tells me it's all really math.
Creative.
Yeah,
it
is. It really is.
Yeah.
Thank you. I know.
But as for me, dude, I've been doing good, man. I've just been setting up some stuff up as always with the Extra Life that's coming. We're going to be doing some pretty cool stuff with the group and stuff. Can't wait to do it. Might get my first tattoo from it, which is going to be very crazy.
I get my head shaved.
So. Yeah, so we'll see. So we got a lot of different kinds of stuff going into that. But then I also started Metroid Dread yesterday, a little bit, so I could test it out on the system. I am going to be I don't know. I'm going to be streaming it next week, but I just wanted to mess around with it. But then when I started messing around with it, I was like, you know what? I want to play some more. So I played like the first hour. Really good game. Already. I'm already going to say that right now. So I'm looking forward to start playing that. Then I started playing the Battlefield 2042 demo or beta, the open beta that happened yesterday. Apparently, a lot of people have been having some issues with it. Especially like Smitty. Smitty was one of them. Smitty is like his issues is bad. Don't get me wrong, but I've heard people that had like have had even worse destructive issues trying to get that game working. Like I have a friend that was only getting 15 to 20 frames per second in that game, and he was not able to play it. But I have been loving it. I've been loving it. It plays like classic Battlefield, just like it should be, you know. So definitely, we should definitely mess around with it. But I know y'all want to talk about my Battlefield strategy. So let's go through the normal rigmarole that we normally like to do each and every week. Oh, which by the way, before we do that, we are going to be changing our date and our time on the live stream. So this is our last Saturday show. I forgot to even put that in the housekeeping, but our last Saturday show is today. We're going to move it over to Fridays from now on. So Fridays at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Is that right? 6
yes.
Pacific? Yeah,
6 p.m.
Yeah, 6 p.m. Pacific time every Friday. So so definitely stay tuned on that. We'll update the post on our Twitch or on our Twitter page. So definitely be a part. Still be a part of the conversations on Fridays, but we'll still have it released on Mondays, beginning of the weeks each week. So, but let's get through the normal rigmarole like we normally like to do each and every week. So each of us chooses a topic or discussion with a discussion within video games from the previous week. The topic would or could be about a specific game or something that happened in the gaming industry itself. And we don't want to talk about it amongst ourselves. We want you, the listeners and viewers on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook Live to be a part of the conversation. So if there is something that you'd like to chime in about, by all means, you should just type it inside the chat. We would love to talk about it amongst you folks. So let's get this party started. We'll start it off with Smitty.
So you guys already know Twitch had a major breach. What a slice of karma. Because they were totally talking trash about Facebook when they went down, and then literally the next day they have a major breach as far as and when I say major, this is
they were talking crap on Facebook about Facebook.
They had sent out a tweet about it being down, like making fun of it, and then literally the next day.
Wow, that is karma. Jesus.
Straight up karma. So yeah, going into it a little bit here, we find it's an anonymous hacker claimed to have leaked the entirety of Twitch, including its source code and user payout information. The user posted a 125 gigabit torrent link to 4chan on Wednesday, stating that the leak was intended to foster more disruption and competition in the online video streaming space because their community is a disgusting, toxic cesspool. Gosh. BGC can verify that the first mention or the files mentioned on 4chan are legit, and basically, and Twitch confirmed that it was authentic. So what the leak included was the entirety of Twitch's source code with comment history going back to its early beginnings, creator payout reports from 2019, mobile, desktop, and console Twitch clients, something that they were working on. We don't know if that's still something they're working on or if it was a scrap project. Proprietary SDKs and internal AWS services used by Twitch. Every other property that Twitch owns, including IGDB and CurseForge, an unreleased Steam competitor codenamed Vapor from Amazon Game Studios, and Twitch internal red teaming tools designed to improve security by having staff pretend to be hackers. Looks like those did not work.
Wow.
So there is a lot. There is a ton that was put out with this leak, obviously. And I don't know. I know a lot of people have made a thing of some of these streamers and what they're making, but like it was clear. If you look at the numbers, it is clear that these people are making in the millions of dollars. So good on them for it's crazy to think that, you know, there are people that are going live on stream and they're making millions of dollars from it and stuff like that. But that is a ton of money.
Though. Yeah, but here's what I don't understand though. Like, I mean, like, are they saying like, are they wanting the release to let people know about how these people are making so other people who are not them to cause an uproar because of the money that they were getting? Because I mean,
I don't think so. I don't think that was necessarily like. I think that was just a part of the leak, and a small part, portion of it. I think this person is just trying to expose. You know what I mean? This internal information and this back end stuff for Twitch. But it sounds like the person is obviously disgruntled, and it sounds like it's about the community and basically making it so that Twitch, it's said to spur on competition and this and that. So, being able to give those secrets like the back end stuff, the proprietary SDKs, the internal AWS services, the source code for it. So you're telling me people are that stuff is out there now. So people are able to dig in and see, and they're going to be able to amplify what they have going on or be able to use that in future things based off of this code and being able to see that stuff. So That's crazy. It's crazy to think that they didn't have a more secure way. Like, what does their security look like? Like, how is somebody able to get in this deep with all that? They have so much sensitive information too.
Your password must have been password 1 2 3 4.
Oh, look at this. So Damon on YouTube replied in as well as anyone could say those red teaming tools being leaked is actually really, really bad. People with the right know how could easily reverse engineer them for nefarious purposes. So basically, so it's out in the open, like you said. And what makes it worse is that this isn't a piece of Twitch. This is Twitch. Like the whole source code of Twitch is out there. So you got full exposure out to the public side, and you got now you got other people who may be the best at what they do, like from what Damon is even saying, to be able to do some crazy stuff like spoofing. Who knows what? I mean, really, to be honest with you. So it's like, this is scary. To be honest, this is pretty scary.
How does something like this happen with a company like that?
Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
That absolutely blows my mind that somebody, an individual, was able to get in and basically take all your industry secrets and be like, here, world, take a look at this. Look what's going on. Use this information. And people are absolutely going to use that information. This, as far as being able to help out competition, this is huge, because who knows what people have in a pipeline already right now that they're saying, oh, never even thought about trying to use this into, integrating it into that. Like Twitch is like, that is crazy to me. And then what does Twitch do moving forward and being able to, because they got to do something. You're telling me that this stuff can be reverse engineered. So they're going to have to move away or do something separately. And clearly whatever security they did have in place, there was a failure at some point in time. Or at some place. So they have to be able to identify where that fail point is, button that up, and then, based off the information that was leaked, they got to make changes and stuff like that. Otherwise, maybe they just handed the keys to their house, basically.
Well, maybe this is the push that Twitch has needed to finally upgrade their whole, their layout. I mean, this is something that, Twitch has made the tweaks and stuff forever on their dashboard pages and stuff, how things are normal. Maybe now they are forced at hand. Now they're being forced because of this to change how things are going to be made. But unfortunately, since we know how Twitch kind of works, we won't see this for a long time. But it's just, so I mean, I don't know, we're not gonna hold our breath, but I really feel, man, I don't know, dude, it sucks because everyone uses Twitch if you're a streamer, even though that the YouTube and Facebook are coming up. Twitch is still the majority for streamers, and now this thing is now, because of this hack, this breach that's happened. It's a pretty big exposure to those said streamers. So I don't understand. I mean, even to us, look, we're streaming on Twitch right now after after the plethora of stuff that I had to do in the background just to make sure I've updated everything to have some sort of sense of security, but who knows what that means in the near future. So that's unfortunate.
Well, the other thing too is they have financial information on anybody that's an affiliate. You know what I mean? They've got that. That is social security numbers. That is tax information. That is, and I don't know if that stuff was exposed. I still feel like there's a level of, is this everything that was part of this leak, or are there other stuff? I'm not going to go searching and looking in the 4chan forums, which I mean, I guess that's on me. I should do my own due diligence then. But it's bad. That is, it's crazy to think that has happened. And they did, went and did a forced stream key for everybody. At first, they had just put out, hey, it's a good idea to change your password and your stream key. And then they push out a forced one. And that's where people now are, that's where we're running into these problems, not checking it beforehand and being like, oh, crap, none of my stuff is connected, which is a minor inconvenience based off of being able to protect the information and people's. It was a necessary thing that had to be done.
Yeah. A couple of things. Damon comes back and says like we don't know. I mean, this is the initial part of letting us know that the leak has happened. Given, I will admit to that. I know that. So this is just the baby. This is probably the nice stuff that we're seeing right now, but when the full investigation gets into full effect, they'll be like, it's a lot worse than we thought it was going to be. Just like you remember the hack of with Equifax that happened back in in 2017, 2018 and stuff. So like, I mean, I just think that it's going to be. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy to kind of go apart. But like what Damon was saying, he thinks was that he doesn't think how the hack happened was that a database was left facing the internet, which is a viable possibility. But the problem is AWS. Like AWS. I mean, I'm AWS certified. I know how to go like especially network certification with AWS. It is not a cakewalk. Even if you do like know how to get in, the AWS cloud is insane to go to get through. Unless you get a backdoor, unless you have some sort of level of a backdoor, which was the exact same issue that happened back in 2011 with the PlayStation hack. With the PlayStation Network issue that happened, like it is virtually like sound to go through all of this. But I mean, I really can't wait until they say something about it. But I think it. Yeah. Lex thought the same thing. He thinks that it could have been an intentional internal sabotage.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. Because that's the only way. Yeah, I totally agree. Because like when they're saying if they have information from AWS from Twitch's side, you can't. That is insane to say that someone has that.
I don't care what kind of programs you have. This was an inside job, and I'll tell you why. So a long time ago, I used to build servers for like law companies and places that needed tight security. I would go home and then hack my own servers to make sure that like there's not a back door. Here's not a back door. Oop, I left this open. Close that. This was an inside job. Absolutely. This is a disgruntled employee, or maybe this is Twitch going, oh, whoops, look, we got hacked. I don't know, but this had to be an inside job. There is no way. I don't. Programs are sophisticated. I will give you that. I can hack into my neighbor's Wi-Fi right now if I want to. I have to run my desktop and my laptop at the same time to try to do that. And it's probably going to take me 24 hours, but I could do it. I'm telling you, this is an inside job. There's no freaking way.
I didn't even think about that.
Nuts.
I didn't even think about that. And that totally makes sense.
Absolutely. And then here's a kicker. So if anybody, guys, just in case you didn't know, if you are a streamer, even if you're not a streamer, let's just say that, you maybe you thought about it, you started setting up your page and then ditched it and you're just a viewer now. Remember, you need to change your password, change your stream key, add 2-factor if you don't have it already. Any third-party apps that you have connected to your Twitch, they need to get reconnected. Your PayPal, everybody's PayPal is attached to their Twitch, and your PayPal is attached to your bank account. Change that. I would change your bank account information, password, just to be safe. Monitor your payments. Make sure nobody's taken money out of your accounts. Because here's the thing. All this information is now on 4chan. So the person who hacked, maybe they had good intentions, but people on 4chan may not, right? So they find your information, and then they go a little step further. So that's kind of where I'm leaning. This is an inside job, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. But then you have a conspiracy theory, and I was intrigued by this.
Well, I was just thinking I'm just thinking that this wasn't the first thing that was that Twitch was having issues with, the biggest thing I kind of figured was like, come on, like it's kind of convenient that all this was happening when like you remember when all the hate raid and all that stuff was going down,
Oh no,
yeah. So a million. I just have a feeling that it has to tie in. I mean, like I'm putting on the silver hat right now, the tinfoil hat. But I'm just saying that like it's just very weird that we've been having for over a month now. We were having issues with like multiple accounts coming in and then just doing hate raids and over hate raids and stuff like that. And then Yeah, and then all this, and then all of a sudden, this is coming in when you thought that everything was kind of toning itself down. When really, nope, that's not the case. We're just gonna just throw the bomb at you. I just feel like maybe Haas, this Haas 312 guy, and this is just all connects together in some sort of
crazy.
way. You know, that would be,
that would be nuts.
And here's the thing, though, they haven't connected Haas to the two people that they're suing currently. Yeah. They haven't connected that, or else they would have said that in the article. Like, Haas is this guy. It's not. It's somebody else. So, I mean, and here's the thing. I haven't really connected anybody to it. And then gotten a hate raid. I've just had all these bots following me. They haven't done anything. Right? So, and I was kind of intrigued by that. Like, yeah, I'd gotten hate raids before, but it wasn't to like Haas is coming in, like all of these accounts are coming in and botting me, but they're not doing any harm. You know, I feel like I kind of like your thinking there, bud.
Well, I mean, I don't understand. Like, I don't like. I mean, it's kind of funny because like the only one that's really kind of that kind of proven themselves to be like he's okay was Commander Root. But other than that, like all the other ones that just randomly decides to join in and then not like prove anything or say anything, they're just there lurking in the background. I don't like it. Never really like that kind of stuff. I think they take
statistical data.
Yeah,
or something. They're doing something.
They're taking metadata for sure. Well, and here's the thing: like you can buy metadata on streamers on third parties. You can buy it from
weird, man. I don't even know what that means.
So, like, I can buy your metadata from Verizon right now if I want to. Isn't that weird?
What would you do with my metadata? What would my metadata tell you?
It's
like just generic. Like personality traits and stuff like that, or you use that and use that information combined with other information to like do things.
I can find out more or less. It's giving me statistics, right? And if I can steal your metadata and then AJ Ann's metadata and Davis's metadata, and I can put it on a graph and say, okay, these are the cultural differences. This is what they do. This is what this person does for jobs. And this is their statistics for X, Y, and Z, right? Metadata is being sold left and right from companies right under your own nose. Like your metadata has probably already been sold to a company.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I think this is an inside job, 100%, because they didn't just take metadata. They took all of our data, all of it. And that takes a lot of power. Like this person worked for weeks, if not months, to get this information. But here's the kicker. All this stuff is going on. People are like, Twitch, do better. And they're like, yeah, we're suing these two people. Things are calming down. And then all of a sudden this happens. It almost feels orchestrated. Yeah.
It just really pisses me off. And like, it's funny, like when it's all said and done, it's like no one's going to get in charge. Like, I mean, I hope someone gets heads are rolling on this, to be honest with you, because like,
this is against federal law. Like they doing this much of a hacking is this is against federal law because now our social security numbers are out there. It doesn't matter though. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, come on, dude. Like Target, when that happened with Target, ridiculous amounts of people with it. Equifax is probably one of the biggest ones, where 98% of Americans got exposed itself. Yeah. So like, I mean, but like, you don't think like, I mean, and then they just get a slap on the wrist because what's changed since then? At that point, did Equifax get sued, or did Equifax lose any money from it? No, they're still doing it as if like doing what they've been doing for the forever, So like that's what I'm saying. Like that's what really kind of disturbs me of all this. It's like I know it's a bad thing to kind of be like, oh well, we got hacked, we got screwed, but look at us right now. We're on Twitch 3 days later from all of this, and then because we know that there's no better alternative on it, and that's what makes it. That's I know that's where and that's what I'm saying. It's like I really, really wish that like I like the. I mean, I'm always the pessimist. You already know that, but I'm just saying that like it just irritates me that's where we're at right now. Like it's like okay, so. It's more like, okay, we'll just got to take that punch in the gut and move on. And then nothing's going to change. Nothing else is going to change towards it, Well,
So, yeah.
I mean, in reality, though, I did a lot of looking as far as like Twitter and like on the back end to see if anybody like their Twitch account had been stolen and taken over, or if stuff had been like siphoned out of people's PayPals. Like I listed all of those things as a precaution because yes, when something happens, you should change your password, and not just one, but probably all of them, right? That's just so the precaution. But here's the thing,
I know, right?
That's why I have a list. And I also have a delete this if I die. It's one of those, you have to roll with the punch. There's always going to be data breaches. This is an extreme one, obviously. Yeah. There's nothing we can do about it. Someone out there probably saw my social security number. They probably know now where I live. Oh, well. Could they have figured that out without that? Absolutely.
Now we just have to go by numbers. Now we have to worry. We got to play the lottery of like saying, "Hey, I wonder if it's going to be like, this 1 out of 17 million people's information." It's like let's see what the.
But here's a kicker that I've noticed. A lot of female streamers are like, "Oh, you thought I made millions? Here's actually how much I made in 2019. Shut the F up." You know what I mean? And good for them. Like it's out there. This is how much I made. I told you this is how much I made, and you guys didn't believe me. So, I mean, on that aspect, I was kind of like, yes, say it clean, say it louder.
Well, you were saying, Davis, I think this is the tip of the iceberg, and we have to see how this thing plays out as far as the data leak, what they do moving forward, and then what comes from this, because there's absolutely going to be things that come out from this leak. And the information that people now are going to be able to use and implement and use. I mean, think about like Trovo. Think about YouTube. Now they can go in and look and see exactly what they're doing as far as with that, and be able to work those kinds of things into their already existing platform. So I think as far as, because you're right, this there are other streaming services. They just don't have that same popularity that Twitch does. So they, in a sense, which is, I truly believe it is a good time to try out other platforms as well. They have all kinds of better rates. They're growing. And I would think as a creator, you would want to get in on a ground floor of something as it's coming up and hopefully be able to ride that come up along with it, as opposed to 1,000,000,001 different streamers in this super popular pool where it's a lot harder to
very much things. So. No, you're totally right. And then, I mean, for it to be affected, I don't think it's going to affect us per se itself, but I think more like on the higher end, not like the top 10, but like the people that are fairly successful from Twitch. Yeah, from Twitch, the high end. I think that's the ones that people may have to have a little bit of concerns over, because it's like, oh, well, these people have this kind of stuff going down, So, but like, who knows, man? Like that's one of the biggest things that I think that this thing has taught us, and I'm really glad that you kind of pointed out, the rules there, like what you should look into, Lex. I think it's going to help other people towards it. But guys, so I guess in conclusion on that is to just say, guys, just watch out, change your information as soon as you can. It's very important to change your information as soon as you possibly can. Make sure your PayPal and your bank accounts have not been or have been changed in some sort of way, so it doesn't reflect on what was given or taken. Correct. And just be careful, man. Just restart, change your passwords, everything, as much as you possibly can do. And then when you see like the certain exposure, because like I was coming across it when I was just trying to start the stream, because I use Restream. That change that information too. So there's no ties that connects to your Twitch, the Twitch, with the information that happened before the breach. So yeah, it's a good one. Good one. What were we gonna say?
Little comment. Views have been down on Twitch lately. I mean, maybe this brings them back up. So
who knows? It's true. That's very true. It's cool.
It's been getting worse and worse. So maybe that's why, again, I think this was an inside job.
All right. Okay. All right. So here's my top. I will go next. I want to talk about gaming culture in general. Cause I mean, everyone's the biggest thing with gaming culture, that we like to hear every day is that most of the, there's crunch thing. I mean, the most recent is the whole craziness that's happened with Blizzard, Activision and stuff, and people trying to change their culture. What's it called? The people who did, Detroit Become Human was having issues because they were saying that the culture, the status of that was felt like slave driving. It was we've been hearing a lot of bad negativity when it comes to to when a game comes out, let alone a AAA game to come out. That companies are just are wailing to make sure everything is going good. So I come across a story and I was like, this is actually a nice story because you don't even really think about it until it actually is actually happening. And I think this is a good direction from this. So I want to talk about Eidos Montreal. If you don't know what Eidos Montreal is, they're the company that gave you. Well, they originally were the company that's coming out with Guardians of the Galaxy. It's owned. They're owned by Square. Square Enix. I was always going to say Squaresoft, but Square Enix. So what's cool is Eidos Montreal is trying something new, which is a giant AAA studio already. They did the Tomb Raiders. They're doing Guardians of the Galaxy, so it's very up and coming towards it. So they already have a lot of things when it comes to crunch time and stuff. So they're changing their policy to a 4-day work week, which is
I love it.
Yeah. And what's even better, it's a 4-day work week, but it's not a 4-10. It's 8-hour days. So they're doing 32. Yeah. So 32 hour. Yeah. So it's going to be a 4-day, 8 hours. So 32 hours a week is technically full time. Yep. And this information, I got this from VentureBeat itself. So this is what they said inside the VentureBeat article. According to the company's announcement, the change will go into effect both for Montreal's location and Eidos Sherbrooke, which I have no idea where that's at. A separate research and development studio. Starting the next few weeks, both locations will close on Fridays, meaning employees will now work from Monday through Thursday. However, some reports state that this will only apply to full-time employees rather than contract workers. So, I mean, that's a given. That's probably what it is. Yeah. But what this is going to be cool, what this is cool about is that this is basically showing off that Eidos is showing off that this is a very good possibility that that big companies could possibly reduce their full-time push with the crunch time if it works. This is another thing. If it works, I was thinking they were going to do 4-10s, but to say that they're going to also reduce it down to 32-hour full-time work week is insane.
I mean, isn't this something that's happening in the Netherlands right now? There's been a couple other tests around the world, as far as I think maybe in Canada too. And overall, they have been proven to be successful. This is one positive thing I feel that has come from the pandemic. It has forced people to see that remote work does work. We don't have to go and spend half our lives at an office building doing things that I could do in my sweatpants, from home.
Yeah, but here's the thing. No, I mean you're right. I think it definitely has exposed with working from home is a lot better than what people thought it was going to be. But I think this is more. I think this is a bit more important on this because this is a AAA studio that's implementing this. Right. I mean, can you imagine if EA decided to say, "Hey, we're going to make it 32-hour full-time work week," when they're the worst when it comes to crunch time for all their games, like for Respawn Studio and stuff like that, to be like, "We're going to calm it down." Yeah, no, right, sleeping under the desk and all that craziness. Like you've heard the crazy horror stories of when it comes to with some of these people, because I think game developers have some of the worst conditions that they have to go through once a big game or once a big title's coming out. So but for them to openly say, we're going to calm it down, we're going to make people kind of chill for the most part, and then see where that's going to go. I really want to keep a close eye on this. I mean, I think this is a cool thing to do, and a cool thing for them to do, because I believe Eidos Montreal has at least I don't know, like it has to be almost 1,000 employees. So I mean, it's a big studio. That's like smaller studios. Yeah, it works definitely because there's not that much overhead. But like, but for a big studio to do it, I think it's really important for them to go with it.
I think too, like when you treat your employees with respect and understand that this is not their life, they have a life outside of working here and doing the job that they are paid to do here, you create this loyalty. And I think when you do that, they are more prone to work better, faster, and do a really good job at it instead of just slacking off. Like, I gotta be here for 10 hours. Fuck, this sucks. You know what I mean? Like he used to work 4 10s a week. It was perfect. I loved it. It was fantastic. And when the pandemic started, that's how it was. Now he's working doubles and triples, and I'm staying up with him all night because he's scared he's gonna fall asleep. And he loves his job, but I tell you what, it's wearing on him. And he's like, I'm this close, So I think when you treat I used to work for a company that would just surprise us with stuff like, hey, lunch is on us today, guys. What do you want? We're not going to order something for everybody. No. What do you want? And from where? I'll go get it. Those are the things that's like, I love it. I love being here. I like the people I work with. Everybody's happy. Glenn down the, 2 cubicles down doesn't have a shitty attitude, which is wearing on me. You know what I mean? I think we need to set a precedent. I don't think these crazy work hours is going to work. And I agree. People do really well at being at home. You know what I mean? Because fun fact, a lot of us, all of our stuff's at home and we like it.
I just want to see.
I think this is all really indicative of the work culture changing from one generation to the next. Really, because before there was that, hey, I do this job and this and that, where I feel like, especially starting with millennials and then down, there's a bigger picture in our head, and we have access to a lot more stuff, and we could do a lot more things. We don't want just, I'm just bringing home a paycheck. We want, hey, I'm thriving, I'm living, I'm doing stuff. I'm able to have a family. I'm able to blah, 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 but I enjoy what I'm doing. And we don't believe that you have to work all these crazy hours just to do it. It's like, you can be efficient and still be just as productive, if not more. But you have to understand, like Lex was saying, we have a life outside of this, that I am working to live. I'm not living to work. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I feel like we're going to see more of this and more. And I love the fact that especially a big company like this is taking this step like that, as an example to show, hey, this is very doable. Here's what it looks like. Cause there's other companies that, like you're saying, that do this as well. There's the one dude up in Seattle that has he pays all his employees. Their base pay is like 70,000 or like 75,000. Yeah. And they have made the company itself. They have all kinds of, crazy things, but it's really focused on
maternity leave too. Yeah.
So there's all kinds of things. So we're seeing more of these companies, popping up that really do value the people that are working there and make it a team thing, as opposed to profits and board members and all that stuff.
Well, it's always been, you're replaceable. I can replace you. And now it's, I appreciate you. Here, have all of this. And it's like, okay. Nice.
Well, I think the biggest issue. Well, I just think the biggest issue is that if this goes successful, because I just looked it up, IDOS has 500 plus members that work for it. That's their workforce at IDOS Montreal. But if this works well, then this might be a possibility to kind of start seeing how crunch period is kind of slowly would slowly go away. It's probably going to still be there, but it's not going to be. We're not going to be hearing crazy horror stories. Is what we what we're always expecting to hear from. Yeah, exactly. I mean, come on, some of these people. Remember when we played The Last of Us and you saw the village of people that made that game once you beat the game. It's just it's just literally 1,000 people are working on this game. So just to say that, and then and I'm assuming like that it's not like a cupcakes and rainbows when they were going through all this process. But no, I think that if you make the workers, I think when you make the workers happy like this, then I think that it will definitely show in their work, and then it will also definitely definitely improve on productivity itself. So,
well, absolutely.
So yeah, I would definitely love it.
They've literally proven so that, the happier the workers are in their work environment, the more productivity is getting done, and at a better and faster rate. Not necessarily faster and crappier, but better, and, Disney was like huge on that too, like with their animators. Like they have great work hours. They treat them with like great, and they're working on 20-second clips for years, and it's like, there's a documentary. It's really neat, but there's like a whole statistic about like, if you make them happy, they'll do kind of whatever you want in reason,
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, but like, I mean, yeah, we'll see. I hope this is successful. I hope people are going to see where this is going to go in the long run, and I just really hope to see more studios, because I mean it's really rare to see, especially gaming studios, to kind of be open up and letting this is what we're doing, because they usually keep it close to their pocket, but 9 times out of 10. So this is really cool. This is a cool story to kind of see. So yeah, so let's see. Keep a close eye on this. If
That's awesome.
This one is, yeah. So we'll go with it. Lex.
Yes.
Why don't we close it up with you? What do you bring to the table?
I have an interesting story today. So, I found a couple interesting stories, but this one really like popped out. So, if you guys don't know what GOG is kind of like a Steam essentially. The only difference is it's DRM free. And if you don't know what DRM stands for, it means digital rights management. So, when you purchase a game, right, on Steam, and you go to play it on your computer, if you were then to try to move it to another device, it would try to authenticate that DRM and say, oops, sorry, can't do it. Well, GOG is kind of your way around that. So you can purchase a game, but kind of play it anywhere on any device, essentially. If I'm not mistaken, I don't use it. But here's a kicker. So you guys all know that I had a stroke. You guys all know Hitman. So the whole Hitman anthology was essentially released 2 weeks ago on GOG. Now, it stated in the bio, right before you go to purchase it, DRM free. Well, fun fact, it wasn't. And a lot of people had an issue with that, because that's the whole point of purchasing it through GOG, is that you do have a game that is DRM free. So it took them about 2 weeks to finally say something. And they said this game is not DRM free in any meaningful sense. We're still in dialogue with IO Interactive about this release. Today we have removed Hitman, GOTY, from GOG's catalog. We shouldn't have released it in its current form, as you've pointed out, meaning their audience. We'd like to apologize for the confusion and anger generated by this situation. We've let you down, and we'd like to thank you for bringing this topic to us and our attention. While it was honest to the bone, it shows how passionate you are about GOG. So it took them 2 weeks. They put a whole anthology of Hitman on their DRM-free site. And it wasn't. People were like, are you, hello? Is anybody there?
Okay, so I won't cut them slack on, I'll cut them some slack. Well, I'm glad that, it's actually kind of weird, because when you were telling me that they downvoted this on GOG's page, because I think they gave this game a 1.5 out of 5 because of it. At first I was like, well, here we go. They got the haters going to hate. But then I kind of started thinking about it, and I'm like, you know what? When you think about it, they lied to them. They really legitimately lied to the deal. If your reason for getting this game was, I don't want it to be DRM, but and trust me, the GOG community is very specific on this. Most people who loves using GOG are all about DRM free games and stuff like that. So you got to be very careful with this kind of stuff. So when you did, so you lied to them. They said, you said it's DRM free, but it turns out that it is DRM. I kind of justify them reason to be pissed off to downvote to 1.5 to 5 in this specific case because in this case it's like how does that happen? Like, right. I mean, like how does a company that is known specifically to say you don't need internet connection to play your games, and then you get the one game that requires an internet connection for you to play, to access the game. I mean,
right.
I know people are human. I know people are human on that, but at the same time, though, it's kind of like it's justified. I can kind of justify people's anger on this.
Like, how did it slip through the cracks? And it's not just like that it wasn't DRM free. There's all of this other stuff that's stuck behind a wall because it is a DRM game, and you know, like you. Their achievements, basic things that you need for your character. Those things are all stuck behind a wall that you can't get because it's not DRM free.
It's just very ironic with all of this.
And I can't play it. Oh no!
So like, how does that happen though? Like, why did they do it? And who was it? Was it the GOG users that called them out about it?
Yes.
Yeah, it was
the community, the entire community. Yeah.
Yeah, because
GOG this.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it was. Because technically, it's like I bet you there was a part of the game where they're like, "Hey, okay," because I think you said it was Hitman Game of the Year, right? That's what it was, Hitman Game of the Year edition. So you may have the base game. Yeah, but you may have the base game, but all the add-ons and all the extra features and stuff like that is behind this DRM wall that you can't get. So essentially, like once you beat it all and the reason why you got it was because you wanted everything. You can't get everything because there's a DRM in front of it. So like I was just like I would be pissed too, because basically you spent whatever money because you said that, oh, don't worry about it, it's not there, but it really is there, you know?
Right.
So now, it's like
well, what kind of, you think that there's any talk? Who publishes Hitman?
Eidos, Montreal.
IO.
Well, like, no, Game of the Year one is
IO Interactive.
Not.
IO Interactive. So, like, was there any kind of communication with them, or like, I guess I don't understand how that works. Like, where there's a DRM free game, but it's only on GOG, but it's not available on other places. So like, say I got it on Steam, it would have a DRM, but if it's on GOG, then it's DRM free.
Correct.
Right. Exactly. Now, I don't know.
Do they work something out with the companies, like as far as with that stuff? Or what determines that?
I honestly don't know how it works with GOG itself, because the GOG has always been, it's always been a mystery to me on like who supports it. Like, is it someone on GOG side that does it, or is it like, do they go through the company themselves to take care of it? But
someone's reaching out to somebody, whether it's the companies themselves of the games reaching out to GOG or vice versa. Somebody's reaching out to somebody, but like IO Interactive, it like the article almost reads as if IO was like, hey, we have this like great opportunity. Like, you guys could have like the whole Hitman Game of the Year for GOG, and they were like, oh yeah, cool, but didn't check to make sure that it was DRM free, because it literally listed it as DRM free. So you know, there was a miscommunication somewhere about something, but then it took GOG's community saying like, hello, excuse us, you screwed up. 2 weeks later, they're like, oh, our bad, whoops, and they took it down. And then finally,
it really ain't up there.
Who knows, man? But like, it's
wait, did people had to pay money for it?
Yeah, I mean, it's still a game.
Hell no.
Yeah.
Oh, time to bring out the refunds.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
People will not stand for that kind of. Yeah, you paid for it too. I thought maybe it was like free or something.
No, it's not free. It says
think
here.
Of it like this. Think of it like if it was like No Man's Sky, and then you got the original, but it says, "Hey, we're going to give you No Man's Sky with the most up to date graphics or the most up-to-date version that No Man's Sky is. So you buy No Man's Sky thinking that you have everything, but you come to find out that you got the No Man's Sky before they changed any of all of that. Like you got the original vanilla No Man's Sky because all the other versions of all the other expansions are behind a DRM wall for them to for it to upgrade, and then but you pay for all of that. That's what that is. That's,
hell
that's
no.
That
Yeah. Have they said anything about? Have they said anything about? Sorry. Go ahead.
It states clear as day, like on the store page, the statement of the game was DRM free, no activation or online connection required to play.
Mm-hmm. That's
nice.
And it was not well, and I think like GOG probably works really well for people who have to travel a lot. You know what I mean? And they may not have a stable internet connection or one that's able to handle certain games that they're playing on their laptops or what have you. And so that's why this is such a great thing and a great tool for a lot of people. But what were you going to ask? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Smitty.
What was I going to ask? I was going to ask, I don't remember what I was going to ask. It was something.
Well, I mean, yeah, but like, it's funny. Like, yeah, it's good for people who may not have good bad internet connections and stuff, but it's also, I know how some people are when it comes to DRM and DRM free. Cause I mean, when you think about it, you remember when Xbox said that it was going to be DRM? Like when Xbox One first came out, when they announced it was going to be DRM, and everyone was raising their pitchforks because they're saying, "Oh, you have to have a constant internet connection to do it and stuff." Like,
you know,
yeah, exactly. So that means that you can't go to a person. So if you bought the physical game, you go to a person's house and play it, the DRM won't match, and then they'll say, "Hey, this isn't your game. You got 30 minutes to play," and then that's it. You know. So people were really, really, really upset about that. So like, so. I think some people, when it comes to PC games, some people are very, very stickler when it comes to it. Like you don't want to mess with the GOG community. That's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. The GOG community takes that stuff very, very seriously. When it comes to this,
I think I know what you were going to ask me, Smitty. What their response was. I think that's what you were going to ask me.
Yes, that is what. Yep.
The GOG themselves said, "We're still in dialogue with IO Interactive about this release. Today, we have removed Hitman Game of the Year from GOG's catalog. We should not have released it in its current form, as you've pointed out. We'd like to apologize for the confusion and anger generated by the situation. We've let you down, and we'd like to thank you for bringing this topic to us. While it was honest to the bone, it shows how passionate you are towards GOG."
It's good to know, though. I mean, damn, but 2 weeks is kind of late. That's what's kind of crazy about it. Like I mean, that's 2 weeks of bad publicity of this game, and it's unfortunate to the game because the game is not a bad game.
No,
it's a good game.
But now, because the downvotes. Yeah, because because you see those downvotes because people's blind rage of because they couldn't get access to the stuff that they wanted. Like it may turn someone off if they don't know what that game is. So like, I'm sorry.
I do remember what I was actually going to ask. I was going to ask, have they made any kind of comment as far as giving refunds?
No. I assume that they already did. That this was like, they're like, sorry, like here's your refund. This is that.
Yeah.
Here. But it seems like GOG was under the impression from what they were given from IO Interactive that it was going to be DRM free. And I think maybe in that 2-week period, they're talking to like IO, like, did you give us the wrong like pathway? Yeah. Like what's going on here? You know what I mean? And then IO was like, oh, you wanted it DRM free. Well, sorry. We'd have to like code for that. And they're like, well, that's the whole point of our website.
It's like, have you heard of GOG before? It's like, come on, guys. Yeah. So, it's like, Jesus. But no, well, I mean, that's a simple mistake.
Nothing about refunds, but I'm sure they did.
I've learned a lot about GOG today, and I use it for the only game that I have on it is Cyberpunk, and I had no idea that there was like all this stuff. For some reason I bought it on the launchers on GOG for me.
I just love the fact that you just bought the game. It's weird. Like when I was surprised that you got it on GOG because I was like, oh, I didn't know you really cared about that stuff. And then you're like, I don't know why I bought it.
Like, I don't even know what it means. I don't even know what it means.
I just love that. I'm like, what the frick is like, how do you not know? Like, come on, man. Like,
it's like, oh, I have GOG.
You know what? We're going to see Smitty going to be says, hey, I bought Assassin's Creed 2 on Plenty of Fish and see what's going on. It's like, God. Like, I don't know why I did it, but
all of a sudden it just happened. It just happened.
Yeah.
Before the pod, he was like, what's your topic? I was like, oh, I'm going to be talking about like DRM and GOG. And I was getting up to like go to the restroom. And he was like, what the heck does that mean? I was like, digital rights something. And I went to the bathroom. And I was laughing.
Yeah. I've seen it. I just had no idea what it meant. I've seen. I think I've seen it on like Humble Bundle stuff too.
GOG has to be online.
Okay. GOG is like a distant third place when it comes to the top 3, like Steam, Epic Game Store, and then not even really. I don't even count Origins anymore because Origins basically behind Steam or Xbox and stuff. But like it's like thousands of miles behind. Like it's GOG. GOG is incredibly small. Giancarlo says GOG sounds like a great idea. I've learned a bunch. Yeah, dude, GOG is a great service. If you want to buy games or if you want to buy modern games without worrying about being connected to the internet, then GOG is definitely a good choice for it.
When the apocalypse happens, you guys are all set. As long as you have a generator, you're good to go, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's good to know. That's good to know.
Yeah,
about that. I did not know either.
No, I don't know.
And I think you can move your GOG library. Weird thing. I think you can move your GOG library to your Steam, so you don't have to necessarily I don't know how all that works, but we'll see. Yeah, it's very weird, but it's still
a wraparound.
Yeah, it's very interesting. But anyways, all right, Lex.
Yeah.
What do you have planned for the week?
Good question. I think we're starting a new game. I don't know which one it is yet.
Wishbone?
Yes, Wishbone. We're gonna play Wishbone all Halloween. No. I have to nanny tomorrow for somebody in this podcast. So yeah. I'm a nanny tomorrow. And then
I don't need no nanny. No, I'm just kidding.
Maybe you can watch yourself.
Right? See you later, baby. We're gonna play a new game this week for sure. Not quite sure what it's gonna be. I did download something, so if the other game falls through, we've got that as a backup. I couldn't do DFP Army stream this week because of the break-in essentially. So my key didn't work, and we're postponing. So last night I was supposed to stream. I didn't. Next week will be DFP stream, so we'll do that. I got a new game for that. I've been looking at a lot of itch.io games lately, so I'm intrigued. Also, I might replay Faith this month because apparently there are some updates.
I don't know what Faith is, but okay, we'll go with
that.
It's
8-bit horror. Faith Chapter 1 and 2, 8-bit horror game. But
sounds awesome.
Erdolf games, Erdolf. I say it wrong. It's German.
Okay, cool. What about you, Smitty? What do you have planned for the week?
New World is in my future. I do want to get some Destiny stuff done. I'm definitely behind on that. And then I'm looking forward to playing more and continuing the story of In Sound Mind. So that's kind of on my docket. I believe I'm doing a charity stream for Inferno at some point in time next week. I need to figure out those details as well.
Do you not know what time your charity stream is, or like?
No, I haven't. He was asking. I just haven't looked at my schedule and gotten back with him as far as timing wise and stuff like that. So I need to do that and look at that and solidify that stuff. But yeah, no, it's going to be another chill week. Hopefully,
plus our secret project.
Oh no, secret projects next week. I've got a live stream that I have to do next Thursday. Oh, I don't know if it's next week. He hasn't said anything. I'm sorry.
Coming up.
It's coming up at some point in time.
Yes.
That, and then I have a shoot next weekend, next Saturday morning for the food and cocktail series. So next week's actually a super busy week.
I hope they feed you.
This is the last one, right?
Yeah.
This was the last episode, right?
This is the last one. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, cool deal.
Yep.
All right. As for me, I am going to be doing some more Tales of Arise a little bit for the first half of the week. So Monday through Wednesday, I've been playing around with that a lot. And then on Thursday, Friday, there's so many good games I wanted to play this week. Like Unmetal it's either gonna be Unmetal or some other game, some other small game that I've been enjoying a little bit. Was really fun. Oh, Day Night tells you Metal Gear, cough.
Yes. I'm gonna get it in. I'm gonna find it time.
Smitty, just give her the $100, dude. It's not.
I mean, I'm going to regardless, but still, this is about my pride now.
Okay. You know what?
I need to cut your hair.
Do you know what amazes me about this? Do you know what amazes me is that this is 2 years in a row, dude. Like this is like
I know,
like 2 years in a row. And then you know what's even funnier? Cut back to the intro of this podcast. You don't gamble. Look at that. what was that? That's
like the game.
Almost,
I'll gamble for a good cause. I'll gamble for a good cause. Yeah.
Oh,
that's true. That's true.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I like to bet on myself.
I'm just saying, but yeah. So then on Friday, or you know what? Either I'm gonna do Unmetal on Thursday, or I might do. I think I might do Metroid Dread for Thursday, Friday. That game that game is awesome. I had a fun time playing it. I urge anyone who loves Metrovania games, especially if you love Metroid itself, get this game. This game is fun. So I will definitely do that. You can definitely check us out streaming it on CFG Games. But yeah, we're gonna have a really good time. Guys, thank you so much for listening to episode number 110 of the CFG Gamecast. Thank you for being a part of the conversation as always. We will be back again next week. We are changing our day from Saturdays to Fridays. So Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific time, we are going to be doing the live stream from now on. So definitely check us back then, and then we'll definitely be having the same fun old conversations that we normally like to do. But if you did miss us this week, that is okay. We will release the podcast on Monday on all podcast services out there like Apple, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, Podbean, so on and so forth. So definitely you have no excuse to not listen to our sexy voices.
Ooh, yeah.
Yes. But guys, thank you so much for stopping by. But also check us out on our main website, confreaksandgeeks.com, if you're wanting to check out the latest information and geeky topics. So once again, this is Davis, Lex, and Smitty. Y'all take it easy.
Bye.